Hey, welcome to another episode of Hometown History. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Domi.
And we are back after some terrible salmonella poisoning to record part 2 of the Yorktowne. So this mini episode is called Part 2, Yorktowne Hotel at 100, Hometown History presents an interactive memory-sparking event.
And we always have an agenda, so this is only a segment of a larger presentation that we've already shared in the fall at the Yorktowne Hotel. And in this episode, we're going to cover the renovations, the story of Vonnie Grimes, and then we're going to stop and come back with an extra special episode about the goat.
You might hear in the background, by the way, our little, here, let me go up, our little co-host, Arthur. He is 3 months, and honey, he's starting to cry. So you might hear him crying, or we're just going to talk over him until my lovely husband can come and pick him up. Or we can put a nunny in his mouth to try to present.
We might have been
Thanks,
overly
hon.
confident to leave him in the room.
I'm telling you, he was dead asleep. Like dead asleep.
He had radar for...
All right, let's get into the Yorktowne and when it was purchased. All right, so this was purchased by the York County Industrial Development Authority in 2015. So over 10 years ago now that this process began, and it was in the hands of this local entity. And here is where the Yorktowne story took a turn for the better, thankfully. There was strong community concern and involvement, and thankfully this group called Preservation PA picked it up and put it on their Pennsylvania at-risk list in 2017. So we really have Preservation PA. Thank you for identifying this as a building that is worth saving.
So why now? We've seen York change. The food, the culture, the art scene has skyrocketed since the mid-2000s, and it seems logical to reinvigorate a once spectacular hotel. So York County Industrial Development Authority went with Hilton's Tapestry collection, and it's a great fit. And the Tapestry is a brand that focuses on boutique hotels, such as Converted Chocolate Factory in Lidditz, which if you haven't been there, they pump the smell of chocolate into the hotel.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Wilbur chocolate. So if you're a chocolate lover, that one's for you.
Oh.
But it allows for the Yorktowne to keep its historic features while out-of-towners can recognize the Hilton brand. So, it's upscale, but it's still York County.
I think it was a great blending and great relationship. Now, convincing Hilton was not easy for them to come to York, but here's how they sold it. First, we have a proven track record. Here in New York, we get things done, and we do them relatively well. So look at the changes since 2000. We have the renovated Appell Center. The Revolution Stadium was built in Central Market. Second, at this time, and still today, we have a really engaged community. I mean, you go online, Domi leads preserving the history of Newberrytown.
Yep.
Sorry.
Close
You're like,
enough.
get it right. And so when you look at our community, we are engaged. So that attracted Hilton. We were not a destitute community. And then finally, we had this partnership with York College. So we're really fortunate to have this top-notch post-secondary institution here in our own back door. So thankfully, that relationship with York College was a way for Hilton to say, you know what, let's take a chance.
Yeah. Thank you, York College.
Yeah.
It came through for us. So once they got the go-ahead, the workers started to demolish several floors and rooms, and it took the place down to its old skeleton in anticipation of rebuilding the muscles and tendons. And here are some things that they found. So the old terrazzo flooring, once hidden, was uncovered and revealed to be in good shape. And they also found murals that were covered up. So you never know when you're renovating what you're going to find. It could be good, it could be bad, but in this case, it was really good.
When Luke and I renovated our house near you, all I found was skeletons of birds and mice.
Oh, no.
But I did keep them because I think they're oddly cool. Luke thinks it's weird. I don't know.
I mean, there's a market for that kind of stuff.
I think it's neat. I think it's fascinating.
Here, look at these skeletons that I found in my house.
So in total, it cost $65 million to renovate the Yorktowne, including $14 million from the state. And one of the reasons why it cost so much is because they preserved the historical integrity of the site.
Right.
So when you think about the old rotating wooden doors when you walk in, the Cutler mailbox with its brass mail chutes that go to the guest floors, brass and crystal chandeliers, and the large mirrored walls, all those things cost extra money. And I'm frankly glad they did.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it.
I agree. So if you like going to the Yorktowne, if you enjoy that history, please comment in the section below. What's your favorite thing that was saved?
Oh, I love that. I'm really excited to see what people are going to say. So when it first opened, the policy prohibited Black people from staying as guests at the Yorktowne. So name brand Black musicians were playing at the Valencia. They had to stay somewhere else, and usually they stayed in private homes in York. So even though they couldn't stay as guests, the Yorktowne hired staff that were Black, and they were cleaning, they were serving, they were bell captains, and this was wrong. I mean, obviously we know that now. But it was common for the time period since much of America was remaining racially segregated at the time, meaning York wasn't an exception to this decision.
And this leads us to Vonnie Grimes. So Vonnie was born in 1922 in Bamberg, South Carolina. We know that there is a pipeline from this community up to York. You asked a number of folks who came here and they moved here, their family did. So he moved to York when he was young. He was forced to attend an all-Black elementary school, and this is what gave him inspiration to try to change things for York County and beyond. He became one of our most influential leaders, and he was known for his fitness, family, and friendliness, which is fantastic. He was charismatic, and he helped everyone he met. He served in the Army in World War II, the Pacific Theater, and he came to York to work at the coal steel, then at Penn State, York. He unfortunately passed in 2018. I did not get a chance to meet him, although I know a number of people who adored him.
Yes.
So it's kind of a bummer I didn't get to meet Vonnie.
I attended many volleyball matches at Vonnie Grimes'
Did
gym.
you? Oh,
I
that's
did,
cool.
yeah, and that was before I knew who Vonnie Grimes was.
Yeah.
And I wish at the time that I would have known who he was. Now, this was probably a few years before he passed away.
Would have appreciated it.
Yeah, I would have really appreciated getting to know him, but yeah. Shout out to Vonnie Grimes' gym. So while looking for career opportunities, Vonnie Grimes met a Black bell captain working at the Yorktowne Hotel. And he told Vonnie Grimes that the Yorktowne wasn't a good choice. Yeah. So to make, not to make the same mistakes that he had made. So after years of loyalty, the bell captain would never be allowed to climb the ladder of advancement at his job. So Vonnie vowed not to not only break through the barrier, but to actually live in the hotel one day.
And he did. On the 6th floor, it became he and his wife's residence until he turned 75, or I'm sorry, when he turned 75, and this was in the 1990s. He only moved out because he had a growing family and needed more space, and the hotel was not large enough for his family to all gather. And the Yorktowne was an early adopter then of hospitality of Black people because it made the Negro Traveler's Green Book in 1957. Yeah. And this is a book that referenced safer places for African Americans traveling because we know segregation limited their abilities to stay in hotels and visit restaurants. And if you were listed in the Green Book, it was a sign this was a welcoming place. And the Yorktowne made it in at least 1957.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our takeaways.
Yeah, so it was more than a physical building. It was a cultural and historical anchor here in York. And we almost lost the hotel. It was shut down and it would have been demolished, but community efforts and preservationists were able to bring it back to life.
So if you missed the first section, please go and visit part 1. This is just part 2. Go back on our Facebook pages and we can share, and we will upload them to YouTube, and stay tuned. We have 2 more episodes coming up.